freedom that the police want to be able to.
Yeah.
So we need an answer.
Let me share something that Rick Jones told me in that conversation. And he said he personally does not believe that marijuana in and of itself really causes dangerous driving. He actually said that. He said the problem he sees is that the mixture of marijuana and alcohol is the big kahuna. That's his strong belief. I'm just repeating, what he said. Sure. But he's told me himself. I don't think he'd ever. But it was, it wasn't. What the hell? I mean, that's what he told me. He said he didn't think marijuana itself was, that bad.
Which in a way could be said. The real problem is the alcohol.
Yeah.
And driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and there's going to be some. I mean, it goes without saying. I had this conversation with this prosecutor. Whatever, we were just trying to. A lot of these guys now are. I didn't go to law school to prosecute marijuana cases. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Elliot Ness. No. But it's the same. Not the same. So much THC. It's not the Woodstock marijuana, right? Number two, we got to come up with something about driving. It's going to be dangerous. There's all this evidence of driving. You know what? Let me say this. I don't know that it's going to change that much, right? I mean, I think the best argument is look at people are driving around with marijuana in their system now.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
And if it was such a fucking problem, we would know and be able to articulate it.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to be the bend when they actually legalize it? So you get some people that are going to buy it that they would not normally have. They get a little bit of that kind of stuff. They're going to be out of position. It's like people, like a lot of the drunk driving cases are coming home from opening day, from a wedding. You know what I mean? It's not the guys that are generally girls that are, drink. They don't want to drive and drink. They're not going to fucking be out of position. They're going to drive. It's usually something that's just like they haven't done it. It's like,
Right.
So there's going to be some of that stuff. But don't tell me that same with pregnancy and CPS and stuff. Like people are, it's part of the woodwork. And if there was a way for them to show, like, kids being born with the byproduct metabolite of, who even knows if the THC, and they could show some, they would, and it'd be over. They'd have a reason, but it doesn't exist. Like, it's a lot of hoopla that is, and that's what pisses me off about the police officers. Tim, what are we going to do about that? The people in the western part of the state, you got prosecutors, you got community leaders. I mean...
Well, all I can say, again, is thank God.
Where's Jamie? Did we lose him?
No, he should still be
Jamie,
there.
you still there?
I'm sorry. I fucking lost it there.
I think he's gone.
Jamie.
Come back. Tim, go ahead, sorry.
Well, all I can say is thank God Western Michigan and those rural areas, they don't have a lot of people. And the election is going to be decided in urban areas. It's going to be decided in southeast Michigan. Yeah. And places like, Flint, Lansing. Your bigger cities are fine. We did an experiment when we ran all these ballot initiatives. And the only, outside of Lapeer, which we lost by 6 votes, we were overwhelmingly defeated in places like Clare and Frankfort. A couple others, Harrison, I believe.
Very small rural towns.
Small rural
with
towns.
No local involvement.
Onaway.
Onaway, there you go. There you go.
There he is.
Yeah. We lost big. It was not even close.
There's no electoral college, though, in Michigan, right?
No.
It's by the
pure
one man, one
yeah.
vote.
It's the popular vote.
Yeah.
So, as you said, the turnout in some of these towns where like Wayne County, which has got the biggest population, biggest county, right? And 2 would be what was Oakland
and Detroit, for God's sake.
Just the whole metro area.
Yeah.
If everyone shows up, if they get a 60% turnout, you care, right? I mean, which is unheard of,
doesn't
right?
matter. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be decided in the population centers. Really, I don't think he's going to win in Midland. Okay, but that's about the only
But if he
place.
wins, I mean, Macomb County would probably be a swinger too, Jim. You're going to win. This whole thing's going to be on you again.
Yeah,
Jim's in charge of Macomb County.
How would you say about Macomb?
With that. I think,
I'm not comfortable with that.
I think
breaking news: the election's about to swing, and it's all because of Macomb County. The nation is looking to Macomb. What's going on over there, Jim? Tell us.
It depends.
Remember that?
Are we talking North Macomb or South Macomb?
I'm talking election night. What's going on in Macomb? I remember that.
You know what? I think overall, I think that people need to be really careful about how comfortable they get with this thing passing. I really do.
I kind of feel that way too.
Because
after I watched Rachel Maddow tell me one night that all the red states are purple, I don't believe anything I hear anymore. Like, it's over. Like, I was sold that bill of goods. I'm done with that. Right? Come on.
Purple.
I watched it. She said, it's over. It's over.
Macomb County's not. Macomb County's not purple. We're blue. We're blue. But
Are you?
We
Are you now?
We just fucked up. We fucked up.
Did you?
Yeah, big time.
Jim is a beaking of light in the area.
I mean, I didn't fuck up. I want to be
North or
clear about
south?
that. I'm
East or
South
west?
Macomb.
What do you think about
we're
that,
hardcore
Tim?
blue in the South.
Is this going to? I mean, what does a Trump factor have to do with this year's election in Michigan?
Well, all I can say, there's been numerous polling have done with hardcore Trump supporters, and they're not typical Republicans. They're a little different. But the Trump folks split 50-50 on marijuana. Yeah. That's where they're at. Where hardcore self-identified Republicans are lower, in the 40% range. The Trump voters are actually higher. The true serious ones.
But if you think, Tim, about what you just said about the local initiatives and where they passed and where they failed.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when Trump and Clinton were campaigning, and I drive around the state of Michigan quite a bit for work, and I can tell you that in the urban areas you would see plenty of Hillary Clinton signs, but in those outlying areas, all you saw was Donald Trump, and those people believed it.
Yeah.
And if we look and say, okay, those rural people are all voting for Donald Trump, it's no wonder that the initiatives just tanked.
I'm interested in this, Tim. The Republican Party, aren't they dealing with some dilemmas? I mean, I don't know, and I don't want to be presumptuous, but you got Trump. You got people that are probably uncomfortable a little bit. Some people are just going with the party. What impact, and what is a Republican doing in Michigan now to get elected? Are they embracing Trump? Are they getting separate from Trump? How does Trump affect?
No, they're sticking with Trump. They don't dare deviate from. You take on Trump, that's the kiss of death. You're not going to win, and especially in a primary. And they've already staked out their position in the primary.
For the general, for the statewide, I'm saying, does Tom Leonard say, I'm with Trump and I'm going to govern? If I'm Attorney General.
Some of them are. Who's this guy who's running against Debbie Stabenow? He's out there saying, I'm with Trump, Trump is me, and we are there. And I've got to tell you, I was up north and I saw his campaign signs everywhere.
Schuette's going to do that. I see that. He's
already they're all going to do that. They don't dare do that.
Yeah. He is?
Oh, yeah. He's going to do it for his own survival. I mean, he may not like Trump, but if he takes on Trump, he's in trouble. They're going to hate him. These people are very impassioned.
Is a party.
Yeah.
Like the core republic, like of the party and the representatives, are they not split on like some other direction of the Republic? Are they all still behind Trump? In Michigan, what do you think?
They're about saving their own rear ends and getting reelected.
Well, what about the people that the people that voted the convention? Like, pick that group. Those are delegates that have been elected to be.
Oh, they're hardcore Trump,
really?
And they're very social conservative. Yes, they're the fanatics.
They can't find somebody else. There's not another direction to go.
I'm just saying, there's nothing. He's the president, and some people like his attitude. They like Trump because he's so sassy and just mean, and they hate elitists, like AKA Hillary Clinton and people like that. Yeah.
But of all the people, I mean, there's been some things that I think have been, I don't know. There's a lack of civility. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be a lack of civility. I don't know whose fault it is. You can throw blame around. I don't know. I think, the Republicans tried to be that. They've kind of tried, they always, whether they bear stuff down your face or not, they, but some of this stuff has just been outside of the, I mean, I could complain a lot. I don't want to be,
well, getting to the marijuana situation, I think marijuana is going to stand on its own, as its own issue. I mean, there are Republicans that, are favorable to it. Maybe not, not necessarily a majority, but see, coupled with the heavy Democrat turnout, that's what I'm saying, a heavy independent turnout, heavy progressive turnout, and heavy young person turnout. This is critical. And I think I sent a thing to the listserv about, it was a thing from Mears, and they were doing a study. The young people turned out in record numbers in August. I mean, it's huge, just unprecedented. There is absolutely no reason to doubt that that's not going to happen again in November. So that is the key. It's whatever demographic cohort, turns out. Right. If we get our people, and I'm saying this is going to, I don't care what these preachers in Detroit, think and say. Detroit is going to pass this overwhelmingly.
And Republicans normally don't sit out elections, so there's no big get out the vote movement on that side because they get out the vote.
Yeah, but there's a divide in the Republican Party for.
Yeah, but they're still they come out in fairly consistent.
How many Tim Becks are there in the Republican Party that are going to vote like this for legalizing marijuana?
Well, I know two, Tim and my husband Dave.
Okay, well, I'm saying like.
Well, I know. You know well, there's quite a few of them. I mean, they don't talk about it.
Yeah. That's fine. I've met a few. How many are going to jump ship and vote for Dana Nessel?
There's a Free Press article today about a bunch of Republicans supporting Gretchen Whitmer.
Yes.
Right. Well, that was we were talking about that earlier. That was the business community that was disappointed with Bill Schuette endorsement and wanted them to retract that or whatnot.
Well, right. Richard McClellan was one of them. You know that name, Jamie, I'm sure.
And Bill Milliken Jr.?
Yeah, Milliken Jr. Yeah.
Dennis Shornack is definitely a Dana supporter.
Yeah, he wasn't on the list.
I know he does not like Bill Schuette, but he could potentially be voting for the Libertarian candidate. I haven't really discussed it with him, but he does support Dana Nessel for sure.
Yeah. No Republican is going to talk about supporting Dana Nessel. If I may be clear, we all know Ryan Basor, and Ryan, you know, he gets around. He's a very, very, very smart guy, and you know his family has always been traditionally Republican, and all of his friends. And he was just telling me again, it's purely anecdotal, but he said there's a lot of Republicans out there that are going to vote for Dana.
Sure.
That will vote for
I
it.
think so. There's a lot of Republicans in the cannabis community, and they're all certainly going to vote for her.
The fundraiser of Republicans that normally donate to Republicans, but they don't prefer the choices. It's drawing from the same tired ilk that's run its course.
You know, I'd say the convention, a lot of the people that came from the west side of the state, they probably would have never, you know, they would not have done it but for the cannabis, right? Like the other issues that Dana would stand for may not be something they would even care about. Am I right?
Or they care about, but not enough to impassion them.
It's certainly not switch parties.
Right.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a real... So, I mean, I agree. Like, it's a real... you know, it's...
Well, Tom Leonard, you know, he told me, and I had this one, it was a one-on-one with him at Mackinac. You go to a thing like that, you can talk to anybody. That's the magic of it. And I talked for about a half hour with him, just sort of privately about the cannabis issue and everything like that. He said he was definitely in favor of medical. He danced around legalization, okay? But he kind of smoothly inserted the idea that if he was for legalization, he could never get the nomination. At the party convention. The party convention is the fanatics. 25% are evangelical Christians. These are people that are really, really hardcore. You know,
and evangelical Christians, Tim, we should say, by religious edict, do not accept medical marijuana, and they do not accept legal marijuana under any circumstances.
It's like out in Utah with the Mormon Church.
As a religious belief.
No alcohol,
we've learned this, that some of these, like Bethany Christian Services, they're edict of belief that their flock signs up for, amongst other things, swears off marijuana for any reasons. Is a religious fundamental part of a fundamental religious belief.
Well, Kevin Sabat is a member of the Baha'i religion. The Baha'i religion is any type of mind-altering, so-called mind-altering, drug or anything like that, including cigarettes, alcohol, whatever. They're very, very virulent. Yeah, well, Mormons don't drink coffee. I don't know about Baha'i, but Baha'i, I mean, they are very, very stringent about that. And some people wonder, well, what motivates Kevin Sabat, Dr. Sabat or whatever?
What a waste of a name.
I'm sorry? Well,
what a waste of a name for an organization.
Yeah, well, again, but with this guy, the only conclusion I can come to is there's a religious motivation. There's no evidence to seem that man is getting rich. He seems to be doing it for some kind of altruistic reasons or whatever, I would say religious reasons. That would be the only thing that makes any sense to me. And it's the same ditto for a lot of other evangelical Christians in America and people in the Mormon Church. And on and on. And those people, they have a big tail that they wag at the GOP conventions in Michigan.
Is he not supported by some organization paid to fly over and spew the crap that he talks about? Or is he just doing this on his own dime? and some church money.
Sabbath? I'm not sure. Well, he's got that Kennedy. That's his buddy, but